Morning goobers, I'm Eric Arias and welcome to the that's starting really great, third installation of the Earthbound Megayap. I am very tired and very sick, just bear with me. This video is gonna be janky, but thankfully, or rather unthankfully, there isn't actually that many cards to talk about. If we cut the playsets here, which is what I should have done in the beginning. That's just how the Megayap works. Yeah, there isn't that many cards to talk about today, but I'll still hopefully get the point across. In this series, I just yap my heart out about the last 3 to 4 months of card releases and whether they affect Earthbound or not. Yes, this is like the meme that goes, this will affect the trout population. Because Earthbound is the trout population of the X after all. Just eating up whatever is there for them to eat, even if it wasn't actually meant for them. Either way, let's not yap too much during the intro. Let's get into the juicy stuff. Hopefully my voice does not die by the end of this, and I'll start making the Earthbound Deck Core guide soon enough. Starting off with generic Synchros, and then we'll move through the categories I made in my little document, which ICBA, honestly, let's just yap. That's the whole point, it's called Megayap for a reason. So, starting with Jade Dragon Mech. This card is really cool. It's honestly not better than Crocodile Dragon after testing, after test hands, after playtesting, after every kind of testing. Jade Dragon Mech just hasn't lived up to the hype I've given it on the release. I thought this was gonna be such an Earthbound staple, but it just is not. The main reason for that is the brick. Revolution Synchron is not a terrible card to draw, it's still a tuner. And if you go full combo, it does something in the graveyard, or can be used to a sweeper to go into a dragon. The problem is just not that useful, and it's really just a brick. Outside of that though, Jade Dragon Mech does enable you to get into either Levelizable or Kill to him back to back really easily. We'll get to that soon, which is pretty nice, but honestly, because of the brick and because of the comedically large amount of time I've drawn Revolution in my test hands, and I would recommend playing Jade Dragon Mech alongside Crocodile Dragon and not as a replacement for it, even though they are both level 9 payoffs that are both really strong and can enable a bunch of stuff. Outside of Revolution Synchron, there's also, thank you, keyboard, Jet. There is also Jet. This is worse in every single manner, except if you're playing original Synthos pulls for whatever reason. I suppose making the Crimson King. Here we go, let's put him here. Alright. Put these cards here. There we go. Yes. Okay, so if you wanna make like the Crimson King, I suppose you could play Jet with diabellstar. I don't think that's worth it as a package, honestly. Either way, if you wanna do this, Jet is a valid target. And what's funny is the level 2 the new level 2 Crestron. Where is he? Next page. The only card in next page. How nice. Tristalos is a very funny target of a Jade Dragon Mech. This does let you go full Crestron combo. The problem is, well, bricks. Like, you could technically play Earthbound as a engine to go into Jade and then Tristalos. Like, you can go Keeper. You can go Keeper into into Sweeper, into Rciela, thank you Duel Book, into Azamina Z, into, this is so scuffed, into Excel Stardust, into Jade. Like, that is a thing you can do. The problem is, why wouldn't you play just Scrap Recycler as your starter? Yeah, this is not good. But it is extremely funny, and well, if you want to mess around with your friends, or I don't know, play a Chaos Ruler pile in Genesys, that is a really funny option you can look forward to playing, I guess. That's about it for Jade. On to Kusanagi. This is a really funny card. I don't know if this is gonna ever be good, because we OTK pretty easily after we combo off and shut down the opponent using hyper combo nonsense. And if you really wanna OTK tool, Grasha isn't too bad after Blazing Dominion, because of Yugioh being searchable and letting you summon Grasha much easier than typically, which makes it less bad of an option than you used to be. I trash talked the Grasha so much, I am slightly sorry, but it's still not the best card ever. Either way, back to Kusanagi. This beats your opponent super hard by punching all their monsters, going for piercing damage, and it gains a bunch of attack points. The only downside is that he has no protection, and that is a pretty big downside given. I really wish I could play this card to punch over Liger. Yeah, to punch over Liger, because this card is so annoying, I want to delete it. I could play a Chaos Angel as a slightly risky option to then let Changing crash over it. But Kusanagi is the biggest synchro of them all, and that's not nothing. I suppose it works well with Chaos Angel, but against Lunalight, I've asked a friend that's really good at the game, I don't know how to say it without making it jank. The same player that helped me with my deck list for Bologna told me that if I want to beat Lunalight, I should just play Handtraps. They hit everyone, including Lunalight, harder than other decks, so you don't need an out-tool Lunalight in your side deck, even if it's easy, unless it's like directly in your engine and you don't need to pivot to use it. Still, Kusanagi could be really funny in casual play, or maybe in domain format. I've been trying to get into domain a little bit recently, on and off, because I'm still working on my Earthbound Deck Core guide. I'm just proofreading at this point, but it's still work that I have to do. But Kusanagi can actually punch all opponents and just kill them instantly, so I'm looking forward to Kusanagi OTK everyone on the table. By the way, if you don't know, Domain is basically just Yu-Gi-Oh's version of Commander. It works a little bit differently, mainly if your Commander or Deckmaster gets sent outside of the field, it can either stay in that part of the, in that zone. Like if my Groundkeeper gets sent to the graveyard, I can choose to either put it into the graveyard or put it back into the Deckmaster zone, so that I can either Griffin revive it or just summon it, just normal summon it back, or Nova summon it back. That's fine enough as well. Either way, funny option, just not worth it in advanced, honestly. Back to back, this is the dumbest card, dumbest synchro they've printed in a while. This is so obnoxious. The level raise. Who decided this? I am kind of mad about it. Like, this is such a dumb floodgate, and I am so not looking forward to playing Blazing Dominion format with this stupid card. Although we can use it as well, so we might as well be annoying ourselves. Amen. So this card is very cringe, and it does enable a bunch of funny things. First of all, it's a floodgate, which instantly makes it really good. Second, it can let to Groundkeeper punch twice. If you really want to do that, I suppose that's an option. Really though, with its 3,200 attack points, it is gonna be the thing that's gonna punch your opponent the most. I guess Keeper does 600 damage, and that makes my BM better. It makes BMing better. Let's go. Still, the main effect that's interesting to talk about is this revive effect. This revives the Keeper from the graveyard. This is awesome. And it also, Keeper from the banishment, as well as Walker, which means that if you get Walker banished, it's no longer a full lockdown of a lot of your plays. This card can just recover it as a trigger. And you can do it twice in a turn, which is really nice. And by the way, I learned this recently, but the twice per turn is actually Qtoon's gimmick. Like the monsters, the main deck monsters and the small extra deck monsters are once per turn, but the rest of the cards, the back row, also back to back, are twice per turn because that's the encore to their songs or whatever. And I do feel like that's cute, but it just isn't flavorful enough for me to get it, I suppose. Still, it's cool and it's pretty decent gameplay wise as well. It can revive Rciela as just a big body. Yeah, there we go. That's what you're gonna have punch your opponent with her 2,500 attack points. This effect also can be really nice as a Seeding Razor, of course. The problem is just a lot of the time your extra deck is gonna be thrown onto the board instantly, so hardly are you gonna have a situation in which this is gonna be barely is gonna be like better than Levilazable, but the Floodgate just makes me think that this is a better and more piece than Levilazable. I would still play alongside Levilazable rather than over it, because well, most of the time you're gonna be ending on Croco Dragon plus a 10, so you might as well make the 10 back to back, and then you use Croco first, then back to back revive Keeper, instantly make it into a Levilazable, and that's another Disrupt. Plus, this is just infinite follow-up. This card is so annoying. But it is my kind of jam to be really annoying, so like, I suppose that's not horrible. This also pairs up pretty decently with Griffin. If you have a Draco Berserker in the extra deck, you can Griffin revive a Sweeper, then this revive Walker, summon Berserker, and go nuts from there. You don't even need a second level 6 to be used with Keeper, like for example a Silvera. Like you don't need this. You're perfectly fine just playing Berserker as your versatile Synchro that can also be summoned off of back to back. And of course you get Croco Dragon, you get Jurashi, you get Levilazable. Everyone is a nice target for this. So I'm not sure if this card is core to Earthbound now, but it is really strong and pairs up really nicely with Levilazable, so might as well keep it in mind. And of course, stupid Floodgate. It's also a Fiend, which is really funny. It can be recycled with Mutiny to summon Luce. Which is not a bad option in Genesys, although honestly I don't expect this card to live in Genesys. This is gonna be 2,300 points unless the Genesys team just wants to make a quick buck off of this by ruining a format for a month. I am really hopeful they're gonna fix the format. Just please, Konami. That's it for back-to-back. I don't want to look at this card anymore until I need to play it myself. Next is Disturbing. This card is really strong in RDA and Dragon Link. It's not that good here though. Like, banishing Nomi, and Nomi is just not able to be normal summon monsters. I'll just be referring to them as that. For example, any extra deck monsters or like Levianeer, one of my favorite cards in the game, Levianeer. It's gorgeous. Back to this guy. You don't actually play that many Nomi monsters which wouldn't mind being banished, especially because this requires darks. If you banish Griffin, that's not terrible if you're playing a super aggressive variant like Azamina or something, but it will matter if you're playing something with Mutiny. Although post-Blazing Dominion with Rumbling, with the Ruler's Rumbling being able to recycle Griffin, I suppose it's not terrible. The problem with this card is just, it's not quick. Juraishin, which has been a staple of Earthbound ever since its release, due to being a strong 11 with a payoff effect. This card can be used on the opponent's turn, and sure, it's not good on your own turn, which does suck in a lot of situations, but the Store Beam is just not the replacement we were looking for. If this were a quick effect all the time, maybe at an additional cost instead of the additional condition, it would be extremely nice for us, but as it stands, this is just a side grade to Psychic End Punisher, arguably better. It's not terrible. You could play this alongside Juraishin rather than over it, but I just don't feel it. Next, let's talk about funny bridges. Starting with Curtain. This card is busted, and it's also pretty good here. This of course enables D-Mod and decks that don't want bricks by summoning the new Dark Magician. Jesus Christ. There we go. The new Dark Magician. You could play yourself as well. Just one Dark Magician, free Curtain. Have fun from there. Maybe two if you're scared of them. Not even brick. This isn't even a brick, which is really nice. It's super clean. A really clean package, that's why I really like it. But what matters most for us is that this enables us to bridge into Earthbound from Azamina or Shining Sark. The line is gonna be diabellstar into Azamina stuff into Rciela. Of course, before that you go into diabellstar, set Deception, D-Mod, grab Curtain. Deception, eat a D-Mod for Hollowed, Hollowed gets Rciela. Curtain, summon Falco, go into the Crimson King, grab Crimson Call, into Keeper, and go full combo from there. And you can also do this with Shining Sark. You go Dark Magician Girl into Sark, add Dark Magician, summon D-Mod, D-Mod get Curtain. Summon Dark Magician Girl, Sark for Dark Magician for D-Mod, D-Mod gets Curtain, Curtain summons the Falco into these two for the Crimson King, for Call, for Keeper. This is also viable in Genesys, which is a nice bonus, although this just depends on how many points Curtain is gonna have. Which, honestly, I don't feel like this card is gonna be too much of a problem given the FTK stuff is gone and not many other targets are that impressive for it. So it should be fine, especially given Dragoon is gone in Genesys. And what's funny about this package is that Falco does enable you to run Shaddoll package. If you don't know much about the Shaddoll package, you can check out my last Vape. Such good sentence planning area. You can check out my last Megayap. There is a section talking about Shaddoll and its applications in Earthbound, going second in Genesys, in mostly pure variants. It's very specific, but it does work in this variation as well. In Genesys, Nova is a staple. Shaddoll gets you one Nova in hand, one Nova in grave, that's full combo from there, as well as value off of your Shaddolls. Falco being a non-brick rather than payoff is not too bad still. That's about it for the bridge. I do feel like this is gonna be pretty strong. Falco is kind of an annoying brick, but being able to search guaranteed diabellstar from diabellstar, a guaranteed search keeper is really strong. and this does let you cut souls from the deck, which is arguably worse than Falco plus Curtain because this does not guarantee Keeper, and it is half of a brick. It's a strong card, but it doesn't guarantee Keeper, so this is technically safer, I guess. That's about it. On to some fun stuff. Let's talk about Elfnotes. Fortuna. This card is shockingly way better than I thought in Genesys. In Genesys, your one card combo off of Rciela. I should have put this here already. LZ. There we go. I'll talk about this package in my deck core guide, but well, I'll mention it here as well. Fortuna is basically a replacement to LZ in Genesys. In that format, Rciela has LZ, which is still strong, but she doesn't let you get diabellstar nor the azamina / demon stuff. Just even if we're playing a small package in the TCG, getting diabellstar, still getting diabellstar, that's really strong. But in Genesys, you can only get Synchros plus White Forest really, which isn't as powerful as it could be. Still, it does enable a ton of combos, like getting a Kraken, going into Axel Dust for additional extension. Mid-combo plays are especially powerful by going into a 6, into LZ, into your combos from there. That's really powerful, but that's 22 points. So, I was thinking about alternatives. I looked through the light spellcaster pool again, and I completely forgot that Fortuna is a light spellcaster. This is a level 6, it's a free summon basically, and she sets a trap. I honestly don't like brick traps, but this is such a powerful card, and it's settable face up, which means it's not horrible going second as well, especially given the effect is not horrible going second. It's a revive that also acts as a negate, an omni-negate, might I add, which is really nice going first as well. Like, you're gonna go Rciela plus Fortuna into a 12, like Legacia, get a little value off of this, place this in the center monster zone, always remember, then Rhapsodia, send something else to the graveyard, then negate something, then you can Fortuna, switch places with Legacia, and then bounce one of your opponent's spell traps. This is off of just Rciela, which means that it's not only a one-card combo off of Keeper and Sweeper, but it's also just summonable in the middle of your combo using Keeper and Fiend Beast Golem, post-placing Dominion, but until then, Sweeper is perfectly fine still. Yeah, this is ridiculously powerful, especially for 0 points. And if you're worried about not having a easily searchable fusion spell, like Synchros plus White Forest right here, even without LZ, you can still play this. You can just summon Rciela to get this, and that's not too bad. This is still a quick play fusion spell, which you might as well play anyways for the versatility, so I really do recommend still playing Synchros plus White Forest, even if you're playing Fortuna over LZ. You could technically play them alongside each other, but I don't really like that these two are bricks, so just stick with one or the other, and with both of them, play Synchros plus White Forest at least at one. That's about it for the one-card combo package, but what about the rest? This is a really neat package to get into the Crimson King. I still do feel like Centurions are better. Oh, speaking of the devil, that's a Centurion. I calculated this, trust. Centurions are gonna be better at making the Crimson King, even though they have lower ceiling, just because, well, Centurions cost less. That's it. This package can be really strong. Like, you can go into Medius, get the Powerful Throne, increase level, go into the Crimson King, add Fortuna, and then first add Call for Keeper, and also use Fortuna to get Rhapsodia, which gets you a negate, and a revive, which is both usable on your and your opponent's turn. Remember that. Keeper, Water Harmonic, do the combos from there. I'm not gonna sit here and go for the entire combo. This is really strong. The problem is just the points. I don't feel this is worth the points, unfortunately. Still, it's cool to keep in mind, and it is probably better than Centurion in a Chaos Ruler pile, disregarding the points which you could play for non-engine, just because Medius is not a bad mill. And the Fioralize can be used for, I guess, funny stuff in the graveyard as an attribute and type changer. I don't see many applications for that, but it could come up. I don't know. Alright, let's go into Handtraps. Oh, I forgot. June Pride Elfnotes. This is a cool card, I don't care. Like, it is okay if you're playing a big Elfnote package, but Elfnotes are already kinda iffy in Earthbound because their attributes their attribute and level don't go really well with us. Like, if they were level 5, we would actually not dislike playing them because you can summon Griffin, you can summon Excel Dust, you can summon Rciela and stuff. But as level 6s, you can't really go into a dark easily that would get you some value. Like, you can go into Q Belt, but that's kind of awful, so don't do that, yeah. I wouldn't recommend playing this card as the bridge. That's about it. Onto the Handtraps actually. Yeah. These two are really rough. Like, you would think the Synchro deck would enjoy Synchro Handtraps. The problem is they lock you into Synchros, and that's kinda awful. Hydraulis Harmonia is gonna be the best Handtrap out of the format, and it's a shame we can't run it, because removal Handtraps are scarce now, and they're only just now starting to introduce more of them. And not being able to play the best one is pretty awful. Especially hurts because we're a Synchro deck, but we just need fusion monsters enough by which this is not worth it. Yeah, the best variant, of course, azamina, requires a ton of fusion monsters. The other variants cannot play without Gremlina, and like, you could argue, sure, Gremlina is a strong combo piece, but you can still accomplish something. And whilst that is kinda true, you can't really push through your opponent's follow-up without a push as powerful as Gremlina. So yeah, I really wouldn't recommend it. Neither Hydraulis Harmonia nor Synchro Emergency. Because, like, man, I really wish Emergency were playable because this is a really cool card. It is worse in Earthbound than other decks just because you do need to play Wheel Synchron as a non-tuner to enable stuff from there. Yeah, there isn't much else to say about these. If Harmonia were a light monster, I wouldn't hate sacrificing Gremlina for it, because you could play There we go. You could play Amritara as a summon and then go into Grief, into any tier elements, then fuse off. Sorry, you can't fuse off actually, never mind. Even if it were a light, it sucks. On to something that maybe doesn't suck. Here's Dominus Spark. This is a really weird card. It has so many restrictions, but it is a removal Handtrap, which is not nothing in this current environment. Plus, it is much easier to play than Dominus Impulse, which Impulse is a really strong card, but you just can't play it because Rciela, because of Axel Dust, and Jura is seen as a bonus caught in the crossfire. Impulse is just not that easy to play, even if Croco Dragon is still available, and that's one of our best options. Hell, Dragster! Dragster, there we go. Dragster gets hurt by Impulse, and this is also one of the many reasons that well, Impulse can't be run, but Spark can enable, well, Rciela can enable Dragster, and you're typically not gonna be playing Axel Stardust alone, so you're typically gonna have a Berserker in your next deck, which does not conflict with Dominant Spark, although at the cost of Crocodile Dragon and Juraisin, which are annoying. I really am not sure what to feel about Spark. Like, this does cut off some cards, some of our best cards, best synchro cards. I'm talking like Donald Trump, damn it. Okay. This does cut off our best synchro options, but it also keeps us able to play some of our other best synchro options like Dragster, Rciela, and Berserker, which is not nothing. But like the restrictions on this, mainly your opponent can summon something, and your opponent must have activated something, just makes me so iffy on this card. I am not sure if this is playable in Earthbound. Even as a generic handtrap, I'm not sure if this is gonna be good in the format at all, post-Blazing Dominion. So, yeah, I am kinda glad that this card is not gonna cost 20 trillion bucks, and I won't need to play the card. I'll still playtest it, I suppose. It is worth thinking about these kind of cards. Actually, though, it's probably not gonna be too good to kill them. They can just dodge it. That's about it for Spark, I think. Oh yeah, and also like Kiltoon can just summon the guys they added off of their cards, and they don't trigger Spark. There is no universe in which they're gonna play into Spark. Yeah, this is bad. Into the Pumpkin. Le Pumpkin. Why am I like this? The Pumpkin stuff is kinda cool. They're really nice in Genesys for Call of the Forgotten. This is a really cute way to play around Nibiru. You can Kraken at this, set it, then this locks you into zombies outside of the graveyard specifically, which is kinda neat, I suppose. This is the removal piece plus Call of the Haunted for, say, a Kraken or a Griffin or just whatever. This kinda plays... No, yeah, this fully plays around Nibiru. Hold on, this can send the Nibiru to the graveyard, and that does help you really nicely, well, to summon, I don't know, say a Dragster, say a Berserker, say a... not Levilazable, because Levilazable already beats Nibiru. Although that is an upside. Like, if your opponent summons a guy, you COTH into Levilazable, send their guy to the grave, get Levilazable, and Levilazable is also a destruction. This is a really cool package. Although I probably would better... What was that sentence? Would better? I would rather just play this in the sideboard. As I always say, disrespect Nibiru game 1. Game 2, go fully safe into Nibiru. I say game 2, but if you went first game 1, you're probably gonna go... detail, whatever. These two are a really nice package to play around Nibiru. More so than I initially thought, because I just read right now that this has a send effect. Don't mind me not preparing that well. Like, I've only read the first line of text until now. I feel so stupid, because like, I hyped this card even without this, and now this just makes me want to play it more, and this is incredible. Anyways, on to the rest of the Pumpkins. These are fine. They're generic level 6 bodies. That's kind of it. Snake Hair is pretty decent as a COTH target. There's very little to say here. I don't think I would recommend playing the Pumpkins. Pumpkin. That sounds so goofy. I mean, I guess Pumpkin, Big Pumpkin Man, sets COTH, and then you can reset it with Forgotten. And Forgotten can be endlessly recurred off a Kraken, which is not nothing. You Keeper Walker Prison, set it to get rid of Call of the Forgotten. How do they call this? COTH? COTH and COTH. COTH. And then you can revive Kraken with Griffin or summon it off a Mutiny and then add COTH back for COTH, which you can record any monster. This is a really cool package, but the rest of the cards are just kind of meh. I don't think I would recommend playing these over other better extenders, like for example, well, prime example right here, Dark Magician Go. This is the best level 6 you could run. Mainly because D mod still provides enough value, like D Dark Mag. I can't type. Get rid of these cardboard. There we go. The Dark Magicians are still pretty decent over Dragoon if you don't want to play, like, I suppose, Paladin. Dark Paladin. These are free draws and they're searchable off of the mod. If you want to play Dark Magician over Gandora, be my guest, I suppose. Still, also Heka Hands have a better level of 7. Can also get you value if you really want to off of Joza. And, well, aren't just blank vanillas, because, well, this does summon a level 6 zombie, but it also locks you, so it's kind of useless at that point. So, yeah. I recommend these two in the side deck, they're really cool, but these three, I wouldn't recommend them. They're really cool cards, it's a shame I can't play them. Although Pumpkin costs 20 bucks right now, so I am kind of glad I don't need to play these cards. Where were we? Lastly, we have Mr. Lichman and the Delta. I'm yet to find a format in which I feel like this would be really strong. Like Delta, 3 Delta, 1 Lich, 1 Fallen Angel is really good. Like, you need non-destruction removal plus an indestructible beat stick. But this has a lot of potential. Even without Angel and just playing Mr. Lichman as a big beat stick, that's not terrible. This is searchable out of a Kraken for everything. Although Levilasable can do so as well, you only get so many Levilasables. Like, you can Mutiny recycle it, but if they banish it, you're kind of screwed. So, and plus this acts as non-engine as well. As non-engine as well, my voice is starting to die. Thankfully, we're almost at the end. So, I don't know, I just wanted to mention this package. It doesn't have a lot of nuance, but like, I just really like it. I think it's super neat. It's basically brickless because Mr. Lichman can use any spell traps, including Simple Spells White Force, which by the way resets itself. This is also not horrible bodies if you're playing Fallen Angel. And yeah, it's just really cool. I like Mr. Lichman, and actually I should play the Saxy Man art. This is much better. I actually bought the regular art because I forgot to check which one I was buying. I'm probably not gonna buy the second art, I just can't be asked. Last couple of things. Here is Clutch Glitch Nullgainer. What a stupid name. This adds any level 8 or higher monster 0 attack, and it can summon it 1 back. Although it can't be used for Synchro, Fusion X's, whatever, Link, Diagonal summons. The first thing I thought about doing with this was Yubel. I checked every target, they're kinda all bad. Still, Yubel is one of the better ones. This does get you Phantom, and whilst this does prevent you from Synchro Fusion, Link, Diagonal summoning, you can use Night, I think it's called Pain. I haven't faced Yubel in ages. You can get Pain, add the normal Yubel, or I guess you could really just play, can you? No, yeah, you can play just 2 Spirits, 1 Pain, and Throne. Yeah, I suppose you could play this package to be enabled for Kraken. Although it doesn't have a home, because in the TCG, relying on Kraken is just not good. And in Genesys, well, Phantom is 76 points. I don't think I recommend this, but it is not nothing for you gimmick deck enjoyers, I suppose. The other target that is kind of not nothing is Dark Tuner Nightmare Hand. I'm still mad that the Arrivals pack did not include Earthbound adaptation and instead got worthless garbage, like I think it's called. It's just some stupid generic darkness, Mr. Penis Man. Dark. Just some dumb guy or stupid idiots. Sure. There we go. This guy. I hate this guy so much. This was instead of Earthbound support. Guys, we need to rebel against the Rivals pack because they got this Booyah fake Fiend and Fairy support instead of Earthbound cards. Can you believe it? I'm still mad about it. Still, I don't hate the Dark Tuners. I think they're cool adaptations, although, man, tribute summoning these two is rough. Like you need to give up 3 bodies for your payoff, which is gonna be Nat Beast. That's not horrible, but yeah, this is just not great. This does cheat out Nat Beast, but for 3 bodies, for a freaking Fusion Trishula. For a Fusion Trishula, you're gonna make a Nat Beast. I'm not sure how worth it that is, especially because, well, you do need to go into a level 8, and this is a gigantic brick. As well, it's not even a Fiend for Mutiny to use. Dueling Book, please stop. Like, this is a fine payoff, but it's just not good enough, honestly, for the amount of bricks, for the amount of investment, and for how much this guy does suck. Like, by the way, the reason why this works with the the restriction put on the guys is, oh wait, no, you can revive it, so it does kind of alleviate the cost, but you need to find a way to dump this guy. Like, in the middle of a combo, I suppose diabellstar does it. If you really want to cheese it out, sure. Like, you could play this in the side deck, that's not the worst thing ever. Actually, hold on, is this actually not terrible? Oh my god, I really don't like this, but this might be a Dark Highlander situation. Dark Highlander situation. You play a stupid extra deck monster in the side deck because it's a floodgate, and you don't want to play it main because you don't have space in the main deck, of course. But like this FDKs the opponent if you ever get a chance to do it. Wait, no. In the deepest parts of the combo, you probably won't be able to summon Nightmare Hand easily. No, yeah, this card sucks. Throw it in the garbage. You can't discard it. If you could discard it, it would actually be a really solid. Oh wait, no, I'm a moron. What the? I've been going through this entire tangent. No, this gets negated. I swear, I read it last time and it did not negate it. Whatever. This card is bad, don't play it. Nah, I don't want to look at it. Dark Highlander, you stay as the best side deck extra deck monster. And finally, going off with a whimper. Fiend Golem is not a whimper, it's actually a really powerful, one of the best cards of the RDA support wave from Blazing Dominion, which you'll hear about that a ton once the Earthbound Deck Core guide gets dropped. But yeah, this card is really strong, but the thing here is this card can revive any Fiend. This doesn't just revive tuners. This is extremely funny to me. Like, it's super niche, it's gimmicky, it's stupid, it's dumb, but like in Chimera Bound in Genesys, and if you really wanna use Aerial Ether for this, be my guest, you could just search a dumbass monster and summon it off a Fiend piece. Is this good? No. Is it practical? No. Is it consistent? Absolutely not. You're better off just doing anything else. And especially because, well, most of the time you're gonna be getting a fusion spell after Fiend piece Golem already hit the grave. Like, typically, if you use Fiend piece Golem, you're gonna be using it to summon the Crimson King and then get to say a dusted gold for a fusion spell to then go into Ether. This is something I've been theorizing about in my FTK. Yes, I've been playtesting with some FTKs just because I find it fun to search stupid ways to combo off and delete my opponent. Either way, like, this is actually a pretty solid play, and it is enabled by call off of Crimson King, so you're gonna be using your Golem already. And if going for Rciela for Synchros plus White Forest as your fusion spell for these two, you're typically gonna be using Fiend piece Golem. Like, the line is Keeper, Walker, Harmonic, do whatever. Summon Griffin. Griffin, revive a tuner. Sorry, revive Walker specifically. Plus Golem into King. Golem. Am I dumb? No, yeah. Golem, revive. No, yeah, I am dumb. You're spending the Griffin revive for Sweeper. So like, you summon Griffin, you have a Walker on board, summon Golem, make King, Golem revives Keeper or Walker, King as whatever, and then Griffin revives a Sweeper for the Rciela or a, I don't know, Axel Dust or something. So yeah, typically you're gonna get your fusion spells because of Golem, so yeah, have fun trying to figure something out from there. Like, at that point you really should be FTKing if you summon something off of Golem that's not one of your tuners. Like, your opponent should just concede. It is very funny, but unfortunately not good. And well, I was supposed to talk about this silly tech before the Duel stuff, but I just forgot. Okay. Yeah, I am tired, to be fair. So that's gonna be it for the Earthbound Megayap. I am going to rest my voice now. This didn't have as many cards, but it still had a ton of content, a ton of silly stuff to play around with, both in advanced, which is rare because, like, ever since DMod dropped, even before DMod and post the DMod, there has been a stale environment for TCG Earthbound. Like, the best variant has always been Azamina. It's become stronger, DMod. No additional innovation outside of me exactly adding souls to my deck list. Like, that's the most innovation I've had since DMod dropped. But at least there's some stuff with Curtain, with Revolution Synchron, with Jade. Even if it's not too good, it's pretty cool. Back to back is a really strong combo and board piece. And of course, the plethora of things you can play in Genesys, with these two being the highlights and being really fun. So that's gonna be the end of the video. I really hope that in 2 weeks I am able to finish all my assignments and just perish, first of all, and also actually do my Earthbound Deck Core guide. Hopefully allergies don't screw me over too much in this. Oh my god! Hopefully allergies don't screw me over, and hopefully my brain farts don't screw me over in the videos. Last thing before we conclude, I feel like this is very funny because level 12 big guy. This card is broken. I'd see ya. Okay, so this card is really broken, but I don't think it's worth playing because it just takes way too many slots to enable. You need Red Dragon Archery, which Sure, it does synergize with Immortal Red Nova, but it's just not enough of a reason to play 2 extra deck slots for recovery, even though this card is so busted. It adds anything for your graveyard. As a Link 0, basically. This card is horrible card design, and it's completely busted, but it's just not worth playing. It's ridiculous. I mean, I guess this is worth playing if there's something like Liger Dancer in the format, like a dumbass tower that also has a Raigeki for stupid reasons. I hate this card so much. Like, if there's something like Liger in a format, you could play Burning Soul. But like, outside of that, I really wouldn't recommend it. So that's gonna be it for the Earthbound Megayap. I hope you enjoyed this really messy iteration of it. And also, yeah, I forgot to mention this, but the reason this is back to a dueling book yap instead of my of the highly edited yap I did on Christmas is because, first of all, the Christmas mega yap was hell to edit. I rushed to first do this, then upload the video, then make my stupid mac and cheese for Christmas dinner, and also just because I did a poll on YouTube, and you people wanted me to not make this into a highly edited video. You just wanted a DB yap, which I do feel like is very thematic for my own channel. Ever since I have switched to Earthbound and started yapping my heart out, and I've started doing deck profiles on Duel Book out of convenience because of the side deck, it's been my kind of style, and I really miss this kind of stuff, even though it's been just, I don't know, a couple of weeks? Actually a couple of months, Jesus Christ, ever since I made one of these. That's gonna be actually it. I'm not gonna prolong my suffering of my stupid throat, and I'm not gonna prolong this video any longer. Alright, see ya, peace, hopefully in the Earthbound Deck Core guide.